Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 5 of our India tour series. I have been so incredibly excited to share this one with you. In today's explainer, we're doing something a little different. We are going to step right into the shoes of a first-time spiritual seeker, and we're taking you on a truly transformative 6-day pilgrimage.
But, before we even think about packing our virtual bags or looking at a map, I actually want you to just take a gentle breath. Seriously, take a second and ask yourself, what heavy burdens are you carrying right now? Because as we prepare to journey from the really grounding, earthy warmth of the south all the way up to the ethereal, icy peaks of the north, we have to be ready to leave that extra baggage behind.
So, here is our seeker's itinerary. It's a deliberate path of inner awakening. We're grounding ourselves in Goa on day 1, experiencing the fire of Tamilnadu on day 2, immersing in the cleansing waters of Haridwar for days 3 and 4, and finally finding the breath of Rishikesh on days 5 and 6.
All right, let's jump right in. Day 1, Awakening Senses in Goa.
We're going to anchor ourselves to the earth in Goa's unbelievably lush spice plantations, places like the 200-year-old Savoy and Sahakari farms. The minute you step foot there, you're just instantly surrounded by these rich, diffusing aromas of cardamom, nutmeg, and turmeric. It's incredible. Picture yourself sitting down to a traditional, deeply nourishing vegetarian Goan meal, sipping on some fresh pomegranate juice, and just listening to the abundant bird life out near the Netravali waterfalls. Really, just being grounded in nature like this, it immediately begins to quiet the anxious mind.
So, having rooted our bodies firmly in the soil, we have to ask ourselves, what parts of our ego do we honestly no longer need? Because on day 2, we are traveling to the state of Tamilnadu, and we are stepping directly into the powerful, transformative presence of the element of fire.
Which brings us to day 2, the fire of Arunachala.
We arrive in the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai, which is home to the massive Arunachaleshwar temple. Now, a quick tip on cultural etiquette here. You'll be walking barefoot in these sacred spaces, which really connects you to the ground beneath you. As you look up, you see Arunachala standing like a sentinel over the whole city. It's this 860-meter mountain that is just steeped in deep mythological significance. It acts as a spiritual beacon where thousands of people gather to seek a direct divine presence.
14 kilometers. That is the distance of the sacred path that loops entirely around the base of this mountain. And it's a route that is absolutely dotted with ancient shrines, sacred lingams, and you can literally feel the palpable energy of collective devotion from all the pilgrims walking right alongside you.
This practice is called Giri Valam, the sacred circumambulation of Mount Arunachala. Basically, it symbolizes spiritual realization, cosmic equilibrium, and the cyclical nature of our existence. And wow, if you walk this path during the Karthigai Deepam festival, you will see massive bonfires blazing and thousands of tiny oil lamps conquering the darkness. The sheer physical and spiritual intensity of this pilgrimage kind of just consumes the ego of the seeker.
There is this quote that I absolutely love from the ancient texts. It says, were the gods themselves to be reborn on this earth, they would choose to live in Tiruvannamalai. Locals say that the mere wind blowing off this mountain carries divine grace. And honestly, this intense spiritual reset, it sets the absolute perfect stage for our journey northward as we seek purification.
Which leads us to a pretty vital question for any spiritual seeker. How do we surrender our burdens to the flow of the universe? We fly north on day 3 to Haridwar, leaving the ashes of our old selves behind to find the untamed, cleansing flow of the holiest river in India.
Moving right along to days 3 and 4, Gateway to the Divine.
So Haridwar literally translates to the gateway to God. It's home to incredibly ancient spaces like the Daksha Mahadev temple, which, fun fact, is actually named after the father of the goddess Sati. Here is where we encounter the practice of Ganga Snan. Now, you'll just need a simple, modest change of clothes for this. Braving these chilling, rushing waters is an act of profound humility. For the seeker, stepping into this river is a very physical, visceral reminder that life is temporary. And true peace, well, that's found only in letting go.
Down at Harkipari, you are going to witness an awe-inspiring scale of devotion. According to lore, this is the exact spot where drops of the nectar of immortality fell during the cosmic churning of the ocean. It's here that we witness this beautiful, poignant duality of life and death. You'll see families performing Asti Visarjan, which is where they lovingly release the ashes of their departed loved ones right into the river's eternal flow.
Then, as dusk falls, the atmosphere just completely shifts. The evening Ganga Aarti illuminates the entire riverbank. The air becomes highly charged. You hear the rhythmic chants of Vedic hymns, the deep, resonating blast of conch shells, and you see this mesmerizing sight of countless little oil lamps floating on the water, almost like stars guiding souls toward the light. It's truly unforgettable.
At dawn on day 3, make sure you've packed your sturdy walking shoes and some breathable layers, because we are reconnecting with the raw energy of the earth. We're heading out to explore the massive 820 square kilometer Rajaji National Park. For a spiritual seeker, there is something so deeply grounding about being out in the untamed wilderness, searching for wild Asian elephants and Bengal tigers in their natural habitat.
That brings us to our final leg, days 5 and 6, yoga, history, and inner peace. We travel just 1 hour by road and arrive in Rishikesh, nestled right up in the Himalayan foothills. And I'm telling you, the air itself here genuinely feels lighter and more expansive. It's a town of profound contrasts. On one hand, you cross these massive iron suspension bridges like Ram Jhula over the Ganges, surrounded by a vibrant, bustling community. But then, you can step right off those same bridges into infinite solace and quiet reflection at places like the Parmat Nikatan Ashram.
The historical structures here teach us so much about inner resilience. Take the 12th century Bharat Mandir, for example. Established by Adi Guru Shankaraya, this temple stood defiant against time. In fact, it was entirely rebuilt from the ashes after the 1398 Timur invasion. It serves as this incredibly powerful architectural metaphor for how we too can rebuild ourselves.
Our days in Rishikesh are all about actively seeking inner silence. We might start the day with morning yoga overlooking the foothills, share some simple, deeply nourishing sattvic meals at the ashram, and then go sit in the ancient quiet of a Shista cave. Or we could walk through the famous Charasi Kutia, which you might know as the Beatles ashram, where the iconic rock band famously practiced transcendental meditation back in 1968. But hey, spiritual awakening isn't always just about sitting perfectly still in silence, right? On our final day, we are embracing the absolute thrill of the river. We're taking on 9 kilometers of untamed whitewater rafting, navigating grade 1 and 2 rapids. It is this incredible adrenaline rush of just surrendering completely to the river's powerful, unstoppable flow.
And just like that, we come to the end of our 6-day itinerary. As we drive back to New Delhi on day 6, I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought. The physical journey might be ending, but the river flows on. Having cleansed the ego and embraced the wild, how will you let the profound stillness of this explainer shape your everyday life?